Ourselves and welcome to Vasilis Garden. Folks, it's Christmas time, holiday season. It means you may be going away, not looking after the garden. Well, today's show is all about garden keeping. We're going to give you some great gardening tips and advice on how to look after your garden and prepare it for the holiday and the hot weather ahead. And today we're starting off with the noble citrus tree. Now, whether you've got a lemon tree, orange tree or mandarin tree, they all suffer from the same symptoms. Now let's go through them. We've got citrus leaf miner, citrus gall wasp, scale, and obviously sometimes some deficiencies in the soil which may cause the tree to yellow off. Let's start off with citrus leaf miner. Now the symptoms are squiggly lines or snail-like trails that travel all over the leaf, and in particularly on the new growth, the new sapling growth. It travels all over it and it gets inside the leaf, which means that once it's actually penetrated the leaf, there isn't an insecticide that will actually work on the tree by spraying it. So what we do is hang citrus leaf miner trap. It has a pheromone button inside which attracts the male moth and stops the whole life cycle of the citrus leaf miner. What happens with the citrus leaf miner grub is the egg hatches and the little grub burrows inside the leaf and tunnels its way through, leaving a silvery line all over the leaf. The leaf then curls up, distorts and falls off. And when that happens, the tree loses its cycle in producing fruit. So all you simply got to do is take out the trap from the packet and pull down to form the shape. Fold in the end flaps to hold the trap into a triangular shape, then remove the lure from the foil packet and drop inside the center of the trap. Insert the wire hook into the hole at the top of the trap and then tie onto the tree. And for a medium-sized tree like this, one trap is ample, and if you've got a larger tree, you may need to use 2 or 3 traps. Another nasty insect that occurs on citrus trees, folks, is called the citrus gall wasp. Now, it's basically another insect that lays its egg on the branch. The little grub slows down the sap flow of the tree, and it also causes the branch to callus out, which means swelling out. You get this lump effect occurring around that area where it's nesting. Now, an excessive amount of citrus gall wasp can put a lot of stress on the tree, causing it to drop a lot of leaf and maybe not even fruit properly. Now, what you need to do is remove it as soon as it appears. The longer you leave it, obviously they mature, they emerge out of the gall and progress up the tree, which means the tree's going to suffer. Now, when you do prune back the tree, you may have a case where it's so infected that you've literally got to cut down the tree to half its size, if not more. But if it's not the case, there's only a handful or 2 on there, quickly go up to the tree, remove them. Don't throw them out into the bin because it doesn't kill them off. You need to literally burn them or cut them open and expose them to the sunlight to dry them out. Now, what does it look like? It looks like this over here. It's the swelling and lumping of the branch here, which inside there is full of nests. Now, from one, you'll get many others. Now, you can either slit it open and expose the inside to dry out the insect. And to do that effectively, you need to basically split it open all the way around. And doing that will cause it to be ring-barked, and that'll cause that branch to die off. So you're just better off to cut it off completely, like I'm going to do here. There we are. Take it off completely. And you see these tiny little holes all around it. That's where they've come out of. That's where the little grub has emerged as an adult. Let's cut this open and have a look inside. Have a look at that. Look how they nest inside there. All there, and there's some still in there actually. So we've got some that have emerged and there's some that still haven't come out through. So this is what we're talking about. In one of these galls, there may be hundreds of insects that'll emerge from here, and those hundreds will become thousands. So you need to take a strong hold. Now, if you've got a problem like this in your garden, make sure you get rid of it, but also, more importantly, check that your neighbour hasn't got the problem. And if they do, they need to get on top of it as well. Otherwise, it'll reinfest your tree. Now, a couple of pointers. Cut them off, burn them off. Then next, spray the tree with eco oil, eco neem every 7 to 10 days as a shield of armour to protect the tree from any more attack from this insect. If you don't spray it, it will reinfest the tree, and all that effort to clean it off has gone to waste. And the best way to spray it is using our easy hand spray with a double swivel nozzle, which allows you to get up and down and inside the tree with ease.
If you like Vasilis Garden, then you'll love the summer edition of Vasilis Garden to Kitchen magazine. Available at all good news agencies. Subscribe now at vasilisgarden.com.
Well, folks, one of the conditions that actually affect so many people is insomnia. And we take pills and potions to be able to effectively go to sleep, but we feel very groggy the next day where we've been forced into a rapid eye movement sleep. Well, folk medicine to the rescue again. Natural medicine knows that there are certain foods that are going to assist you with your insomnia to be able to get on top and get into a restful sleep. Well, what are they? Well, one of our favourites, honey. We have 1 cup of honey that will go into a wide neck jar. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And again, make sure that the apple cider vinegar has what's called the mother tincture in it. Now, you need to take your time with this. We need to stir this combination, and you need to keep stirring it until it's actually smooth. You have 2 tablespoons, half an hour to 1 hour before sleep, before going to bed. You say, well, what has honey got to do with it? Well, honey is a sedative, and it's a wonderful sedative. And the apple cider vinegar is an acid which blends beautifully with the honey. What about if you go to sleep and then you wake up a few hours later? Take another tablespoon, so take it out of the fridge, put it beside the bed, so when you're actually awake, take another tablespoon, put the lid back on, and then allow yourself to rest to get into a sleep pattern. Now, you might need to be doing this for quite a few months, but this here is insomnia cure in a bottle and using natural remedies, which is absolutely fantastic. There are so many more things you can add to this, but for the purposes of this particular segment, I want you to start on honey and apple cider vinegar as the sedative to get you into a settling sleep. So folks, until next time, find happiness in every moment.
Now, how frustrating can this be? We get out here and plant our tomatoes nice and early in the season. Hopefully we can pick some tomatoes just before Christmas. It's only a day away, isn't it? Well, we've got some red ones over there, but look what's happened to these beautiful tomato plants. Not so beautiful anymore. They've been attacked, whether it's heat, excessive nitrogen, whether it's russet mite or any other virus or disease that's affected them. Simply by looking at this, they're too far gone for me to waste any more time with these tomato plants to see if I can salvage them. Yes, I could strip all the leaves down below, but if the virus is inside the plant, it's going to travel through all the way to the top. You may get a good handful or 2 tomatoes off the plant. It's a big effort for a small productive return. So what I'm going to do is pull them all out. Now, you might be saying to me, wait, look at all these green tomatoes, let them ripen first. Well, when do you stop? Now, you either sacrifice the whole plant and start again, because it's never too late to plant some tomatoes out there, or you leave the plant here to keep growing and spreading its wonderful virus throughout the rest of your garden. Now, me personally, pull them out. Harvest the green tomatoes, we'll pickle them with a little bit of vinegar and all that and preserve them, eat the red ones in a nice salad, and then we'll plant some new ones into the ground. Let's do it. More green ones. What I'm going to do is plant 2 new tomatoes. I'm planting a little sweet bite cherry tomato and a mighty red here. Like that, 2 side by side, grow them on this little trellis that we've set up last year, and it was quite successful. So we're going to fan shape them as they mature. Now, the soil's been prepared already from last season, and I haven't added any more compost before we planted this springtime. All I've done was put bamboo mulch down here, and the moisture is kept inside. This garden bed hasn't been watered for about 15 days. We've had 35-degree days and some 20 degrees. No rain whatsoever, maybe a little trickle or 2, but have a look at it. The mint's taken over everywhere. We've got some cucumbers growing. We've got some basil mint here as well. We're going to have some parsley here that's gone to seed, and I guarantee you, once that seed germinates in the ground there, it'll be a field of parsley. Now, all we need is a couple of tomato plants here to finish it off, because we've got a few other ones sprouting up on the sides there as well. Now, when you plant your tomato plant, now have a look at the root ball on these tomato plants. Nice and healthy, clean, perfect, not overgrown, not pop bound. And when you do plant them in the ground, always plant them a little bit deeper than what they are in their little punnet like that. So we can take it up to about here. Move the bamboo mulch out of the way. Look how moist that is underneath there. That's 2 weeks of no water. The irrigation's down, but we've shut that down. Look at that, nice and fresh, deep. And the best part about this, there's no lawn grub. All right, so dig a hole like that. Drop the tomato plant nice and deep. As we said, a bit deeper than what it is in the punnet. Backfill it, slightly pressed, not too much. Then push the bamboo mulch back over the top. This won't even need a water because it's already moist. All right, that's one down and one to go.
The best way to look after your plants is with Vasili's Easy Hand Spray. Order your sprayer now, available only at vasilisgarden.com.
There are times in life when we all feel a bit tired or just overwhelmed with everyday routine. Whether it's physical exhaustion you are experiencing or you have too much on your mind, either way it can take its toll on your body. So rather than reaching for a handful of herbal pills to try and help you relax, make yourself a juice like the one I'm about to make. Not only is it packed full of health benefits, unlike herbal pills or powders, freshly squeezed juice tastes so good you'll find it hard to stop at one serving. I'm adding 2 cups of chopped watermelon. Watermelon contains a whopping amount of vitamins, minerals and electrolytes, which provide you with plenty of energy and keep you feeling refreshed and revitalised, especially on a hot day. The seeds in watermelon contain iron, zinc and fibre, and eating the rind provides you with chlorophyll to help make your body alkaline. Next, I have 2 oranges. They are a powerful immune supporter. They contain phytonutrient compounds and are a good source of vitamin C, which together offer significant antioxidant properties. Oranges are also a really good source of potassium and dietary fibre. I'm also adding a 2 centimetre piece of ginger. The bioactive substance in fresh ginger, known as gingerol, contains many powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, which help lower the risk of infections. Ginger can help treat many forms of nausea and may reduce in muscle soreness. And lastly, I'm adding a handful of mint. To get the most out of your fruit and veggies, use a Kuvings Whole Slow cold press juicer. It squeezes and extracts the juice of fruits and vegetables without producing much heat, maintaining all nutrients from your fruits and veggies to help keep you going and feeling great. That is so good. For more great recipes just like this one, visit our Facebook or Instagram page. Enjoy. See you next time.
And with the warm weather now upon us, you're probably realising that your pots and raised garden beds and out in the garden under trees also are starting to become very dry. And you probably realised your soil is now hydrophobic. And what that means is when you water the garden or the garden beds or pots, the water pools on top. So it's not actually penetrating the soil. But don't fear, Rich Grow has come up with a product called Easy Wet. This is an actual wetting agent. And of course the way Easy Wet works is it breaks down that waxy film that gets on your compost and potting mixes, and that's why it becomes very hydrophobic. And this allows water and nutrients to get back down into potting mix and back down into those planter boxes as well. And you can also use this out in the garden. Rich Grow's Easy Wet comes in a granular form. Comes in a 5 kilo bag and a 10 kilo bag as well. And apply this at a rate of 50 grams per square metre, and that is for pots and also garden beds. And when it comes to lawns that might be a little bit compacted and the water isn't getting down to that root system, add about 80 grams per square metre for lawns, and then water in thoroughly. And Rich Grow's Easy Wet also comes in a liquid form. It comes in a ready-to-use 2 litre container and also a 1 litre concentrate. And with the 1 litre concentrate, you add 20 mils per 10 litres of water, so it does go a long way. And you can use that in a watering can and apply it over that square meterage as well. And with the Easy Wet ready-to-use soil wetter, all you've got to do is just connect this to your hose. And this container will roughly cover about 150 square metres. And always remember, just remove the plug and spray it all over your garden beds and all over your lawn. You just apply this every 6 months, but you probably find sometimes soil can be extra hydrophobic, so you may have to use it as needed. So if you need to fix hydrophobic soil in your garden, how about using Rich Grow's Easy Wet?
Healthy Habits Smoothies book is now available at all QBD bookstores or online at vasilisgarden.com.
Whether you've got flowering trees, fruiting plants or veggies in your garden, potash is what you need to add to it to help the plants flower and fruit prolifically. Now what we've got here is some wood ash that's come out straight from the barbie. Christmas celebrations at the end of the barbie, if you use clean wood, take out the wood ash from that and sprinkle it into your garden. Now we've got our bamboo mulch on the bottom here and we've thrown it straight over the top. It's not an aesthetic look that we're going for here. Basically what we're looking to is to help these little eggplants produce lots of flowers and fruit prolifically. Like this one here, look at the size of the plant and it's already got some eggplants on it. So simply spread it around evenly through the garden bed there, a handful per 30 square centimetres, and then give it a good water in. And this stuff will work its way through into the soil and help your plants flower and fruit endlessly throughout the growing season. Let's talk about some vital nutrients that we need in the soil. Now, we mentioned potash earlier, which helps your plants flower and fruit prolifically. Now, what we also need is calcium and magnesium. Calcium is very important for the plants because it helps build cell wall structure, and that little stem that holds the flower and the fruit on the plant, that little stem, we will call it the umbilical cord, is where all the nutrients have to travel through to feed that flower and fruit. Now, the calcium will help build that little stem to become strong and capable of drawing in all those wonderful and vital nutrients it needs to maintain the fruit to become big, juicier, more flavoursome, more colourful, and even better aroma if it's a flower. Now we have two forms. We've got powder form of dolomite and the liquid form here, which is called EcoFlow dolomite. The difference between the two, the powder form, when you apply it on the soil, it takes a few days before the plant can take it up, whereas the liquid form, it's instantaneous. So water it into your soil, it corrects the pH level, so if you have acidic soils, it will reduce the acidity level and raise the pH. It will also help the plant to green up better and fruit better and last longer on the plant as well. So EcoFlow dolomite, a must in every garden. From me, Vasili, Maresi. The Veggie Pod, folks. It comes in 3 sizes, small, medium and large. Now they're a great unit if you want that extra raised garden bed, or if you've got a courtyard with no garden at all, or even a balcony itself. Now they do come in 3 sizes with stands, and the small and medium one also has a trolley, so that allows you to chase the sun. So you get the morning sun, and when it becomes shadowy over there in the afternoon, move it over to the other side where the sun shines the most. Now this one here is a large raised bed that we've got here, and it takes up to about 16 bags of 30-litre potty mix, and on top of that we've got our bamboo mulch. Now the bottom of this veggie pod has a holding tank of water so the roots can grow down deep below and wick up the moisture as they need it. Now we've got some beans growing in here, we had some celery, and I'm going to be planting some tomato plants as well. And remember, always mulch your garden beds using bamboo mulch because it has no nitrogen drawdown, it retains the moisture down deep below and does what a mulch is meant to do. It's like a blanket for your garden bed. It reduces your watering by 3 times. Now here, as I said, tomato plants across there because you can never have enough tomato plants in your garden. And remember one thing, if you're not growing anything tall in your veggie pod, you've also got a cover over the top for this, which protects it from all those nasty insects that can get in and destroy your plants. And it also comes with its own irrigation system too. Just plug it up to your garden hose, turn the water on, and let it all do the job for you. Once you finish planting, don't forget the sea salt, folks, because every plant needs some sea salt and some power feed for veggies as well. So from me, Vasili, until next time, Maresi. Now, there are herbicides in the market that are a little bit dangerous for the environment and us humans as well. But OCP recently has released a product that is safe for humans, animals and wildlife in the garden, but will knock out those plants that you want to get out pretty quick. It's called Slasher and it works very, very fast. Spray it on a hot sunny day like today and within minutes you'll see the plant wither away before your very eyes. Now, a very important point to remember, when you mix your herbicide spray, for example, a bottle like this here, which you can see we've clearly marked Slasher only. We're using our Easy Hand double nozzle swivel spray here for spraying our herbicide. Once you finish using a herbicide with this particular Easy Hand spray, do not use a different bottle for insecticide and spray with the same sprayer that you've used for your herbicide. Even though you've washed it out thoroughly, there still may be some residue of the herbicide in there, and by mixing it with an insecticide or fungicide, all you're doing is amplifying its ability to destroy your plants. Now, I've heard about cases where people have done such a thing, sprayed it onto their tomato plants to control whitefly, and within minutes the tomato plants have died. So what you need to do is have a bottle and spray for your herbicide sprays, one for your insecticides and fungicides if you like, or if you want to separate them, insecticides in one, and get yourself a fresh bottle and make yourself a fungicide and clearly mark fungicide only, insecticide only, and herbicide only. Do not cross-contaminate them and you'll have a lovely bumper crop and no weeds in your garden. So from me, Vasili, mate.